Hi, you entrepreneurs. Today we have a fun one. We have Terry Wright Sr. He is an ex-professional boxer. He's ventured into the coaching field. He has about 30-some kids that he coaches, youth, teens, 20-somes, and even professional athletes. He is on his way building a nonprofit out. Take a listen. Tell your friends. Pre-subscribe. Love to hear your feedback.
Welcome to the road to growth, success of an entrepreneur.
We've raised the bar.
Learn firsthand from successful business owners and create your own path to success.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
It's time to hit the road to growth with real estate agent Vinny SD.
I'm here with Terry Wright, ex-professional boxer and now boxing coach. Terry, thank you for coming.
Hey, no problem. Just glad to be here at this moment.
So tell me a little about your history. So you're a boxing coach now. You help the youth of today.
Yeah, what I do is I teach young athletes, young kids, and athletes how to box. And not only I teach them how to box, but I also get them prepared for their other sports as well. Baseball, football, basketball,
and life too. Like you look to shape
life.
them. Yeah.
Yes, and in life, I also talk to the young athletes and talk to them a little bit about life. Talk to them a little bit about their struggles and stuff like that, if they have any. Some athletes don't have struggles. Not everybody has struggles, but I help them figure these things out and make them mentally stronger as well as physically.
Yeah, and you really have a passion for this of helping the youth. It started, I believe, from helping your kids, and then the neighbors started seeing it, correct?
Yes.
And then it started you started falling in love with this, and more coaching, more training, and tell me about that.
Well, actually, what happened was it was this. I started to teach my girls how to defend themselves. They were kind of being bullied on the block. You know, the other kids were kind of like picking on them stuff. You know, so I decided to teach my daughters how to defend themselves. So I took them into the back, and basically at that time it was a garage. I took them into the garage, and I had a punching bag already hung up in the garage, and I started teaching them how to defend themselves and stuff. And I told them that this is only for self-defense. This is not to go out and use on people to hurt, to do harm to other people, because we don't do harm to other people. What we try to do is make sure that we ourselves are not being hurt in any situation by any other person. So I taught them how to box, and needless to say, one of my daughters had to use that to defend herself one time at school.
Yeah, no, and then you talked to your sons as they kind of grew up too.
Yeah, and then my sons, I started teaching my sons, but I didn't really want to teach them how to box too much, because I think boys don't really, they get in fights and wrestling and all that stuff, but it's really not that big. So I decided to teach them a little bit more about football, because that was my love, was football. And so I started to teach them how to play football, and I started teaching them how to play football, and I had the training and everything. I trained them and got them physically and mentally ready to play the sport. I showed them different positions that they can play, that they would be good for, and I showed them how to play those positions. And after the first year of Pop Warner, I found out that I was able to work with not just my sons, but other kids from the Pop Warner League, to get them physically and mentally ready for their season coming up.
And so then it kind of expanded over time to more and more kids wanting to train with you, right?
Yeah. So it expanded big time. Next thing I know, I'm having between 20 to 30 athletes coming over to my home, and I was teaching them football, and I was also teaching them a little bit boxing because I knew boxing would keep their speed up, keep their conditioning up, and also arm speed. It will keep their strength up in their arms and their top portion of their body, which they needed at that time for Pop Warner football. It's good to be strong up on top then as well as the bottom half. So I started teaching them that, and I was needless to say I was standing out there and I was watching these athletes perform the drills that I was telling them to do, and something came to me and told me that this was not my passion, and I looked around and I didn't realize that there was no one standing there but me and some athletes. But something come to me and told me again that this wasn't my passion.
Yeah. That was
that was the start. Yeah, that was the changing of everything that I was doing.
And then you slowly started building out your backyard to accommodate the kids that have.
Yeah, it was. No one believes me. No one believes me. It's incredible in with itself, but I call it a blessing because I was standing out there in front of my garage, and I had, like I said, I had 20 athletes up here running in and out of my garage using the front of a carport and stuff, and somebody said to me again that this is not my passion, and for me to tear down the side of the wall of my garage and chop down this big old tree. It was taller than my house, and I'm up here thinking, where am I going to put this tree? And who? I'm trying to think who is talking to me. For one, this is not coming out of my head. It just I'm actually I'm hearing a voice. I'm looking around, but I don't see nobody. There's no one there but me. So next thing I know, I start doing what I heard.
Yeah, no, and it really sounds that idea of if there's a will, there's a way of getting something done. And these kids were coming to you, and now it's over time, more and more kids are coming. Right, you're like 30 or 35 now.
No. I am now 54 years old, and I'll be soon to be turned 55 in August.
But how many kids? How many kids start coming now?
But all of a sudden, I started having a whole bunch of kids coming. So I've had about 30 kids coming.
Yeah.
So I had 30 kids coming into this gym, and we were working, and now I'm teaching them boxing. And I'm telling them this is my passion. This is what God has called me to do. So this is how we're gonna do it.
And over time too, you haven't just teach them, you're actually helping them grow, like you're getting more involved with them.
The best part was this. I had athletes that were coming to my program, and they were a little older. They were in high school level, and they were working in high school, went to college, and then they started performing, playing their sport in college, and then they would come back to the gym and they would start working out during the whole summer, and they were keeping their grades up. They were also coming back here training, and they were bringing athletes back with them, and they were training, and they were getting physically and mentally ready, and they had part-time jobs. Some of them came back and got part-time jobs and still were coming to the gym. And then after the summer was over, they went back to school.
Yeah, and you, this being such a passion project, it's one of the things we've talked about. One of the biggest hurdles is making it sustainable with the monetary aspect of it, because you're so generous with your time and what you offer them, because you still do it out of your house.
Yeah.
Tell me about that hurdle. I know you just started a nonprofit and kind of finding a way to accommodate all the kids that need this in their life.
Well, it's kind of Well, I don't know. Really never really thought about that. I just was just pretty much just doing it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't. I knew I was making a difference, but I didn't know what kind of effect that I was actually bringing onto the athletes.
Yeah.
I knew it was a positive thing because they will all come back, and if they didn't come back to train, they came back to visit, and they would tell me how their life is going and the job that they have and matter of fact, I had 4 athletes join the service. They went into the Army and become one of the top soldiers in their platoon, and they would send me emails, pictures, and stuff like that. And I mean, for a coach, you can't get no prouder than that.
Yeah.
And 1 year, I also had athletes call me up and tell me they're playing high school football now, and would I come and see their game? So 1 year, I basically went for the whole season. I went to a game at a different high school for pretty much the whole season to watch different athletes play football they were not my kids.
Yeah. No, you've been strong in these kids' lives because you're offering so much. How does the coaching compare to when you were boxing? Because you've had 14, 15 professional fights. How did that lifestyle compare to the coaching lifestyle?
Okay, so my coaching was prepared to, well, yeah, it was pretty much prepared from the coaches and stuff that I had, the trainers that I had. So it was very hard. It was very hard, but it was rewarding at the end.
Yeah.
So I had to put a lot into my training, right? And so the training that I took that and I brought it right into this gym right here, and I brought it in, and you know sometimes you got a kid who's hitting the bag, and believe it or not, these bags are probably about the hardest things in the gym to work on. You got this big old bag in front of you, and you're hitting this bag, and all of a sudden, all kinds of things come to your head. You know, sometimes it might be just playing out. I just want to quit. I just want to stop. I'm just hitting this bag. But it's other things of life that comes to reality, that when you're working on the bag, and you got not only you work on the bag, but you're trying to keep focused on the combination that the coach is telling you to throw, and the coach is standing by you saying, you need to throw faster, you need to go faster, you need to go faster. And you have all of a sudden you have this athlete standing there, and he's crying, he's bringing out tears, but he's throwing the punches, and he's pushing himself through the frustration or the anger or whatever it is at that time. He's pushing himself through that to make himself better. But at the same time, he's relieving himself from the pain that whatever it is that he's going through, he's relieving himself of that pain. And so that athlete, after it's all said and done, he's starting to realize that, you know what, things are not that bad.
Yeah.
And I could work harder to make things better. And by coming here and doing it with me, and it could be any gym, but just doing it with me, that they realize that they feel safe, they feel comfortable, and they can be themselves, and they can let things work out.
So in essence, when you were boxing, that was the avenue that you could get your frustration out.
Right.
The boxing was your kind of psychiatrist in essence, and now you're the one that gets to give that relief to these kids, these athletes. Yes, now.
Because I went through the same thing. I mean, I remember when I was boxing and I was going through my amateur trials and stuff like that, and I was boxing as an amateur. I also had a family and I had kids, and you know, I had to work, I had a job, and I had the kids. I had to raise my family as well as my job, and I also was trying to box. So I put a lot of things on my plate that brought a lot of frustration and aggravation and things that I had to overcome to make things, or basically to get where I am right now today in my life.
Yeah.
And so it made me a stronger and a better person. And I'm trying to make sure that now that I give that back to the young youth that is going through this, might be going through the same things. They don't have to be going through the same things, but whatever they're going through, that let them know that, to be physically strong is also to be mentally strong. And if you can be mentally strong, you can accomplish all things.
If you could look back at your younger self, or even when you're in your teens, or when you're a professional boxer or anything like that, would there be any advice you would give to that younger self to help you out to where you are now, or anything that you could look back, or someone that maybe is a professional boxer or a professional athlete now that's looking to get into coaching?
Well, my thing is looking back on that at a younger age. I kind of had that attitude of no quit anyway, but I think that would be actually no matter what it is that you're trying to achieve, no matter what it is you're trying to do, no matter what the challenge may be in front of you, is don't quit. That's my advice, is don't quit, keep fighting. If you really want that, if you really cherish that, you fight until you can't fight anymore.
Yeah. And so now going forward, you're taking your coaching to the next step, and now it's going to be a nonprofit. You're working towards that goal right now. How's that coming along, or how long has that been in the work for?
Well, it's been in the work for about a year. I've been kind of pushing it. I've been going forward, and I've been going. It's kind of been back and forth on that. I wasn't really on deciding what I was going to do with this, but I knew I wanted to help the athletes more than what I'm doing right now. So I started to learn about the nonprofit organizations around and stuff, and how they can help the youth, and help strengthen and help the youth to get out of different situations and stuff. So I'm saying, well, I understand that a strong body leads into a strong mind. A strong mind leads into a strong body, and with them two together, working hard together, that we can form an organization that's going to help the youth exercise, better self in boxing, and any sport actually, because I'm open for any sport, and teach these athletes that as long as they can keep their grades up and do well in school and be a perfect person to society, is everything is going to work out well for them.
Has there been any? And I know everything's been fairly fluid with the coaching aspect of it all, where it started out with your kids and started with the first the girls and the boys, and then their classmates, and then just more people in the neighborhood, and so on and so forth. And then because you needed more space, you built out your garage, and now it's just kind of everything's been fluid. But has there been anything that you look back at now that maybe what you know today is, oh, maybe I should have brought on another person, or maybe I should have looked at their grades for those kids when I first got them, or anything that's really been something that that's been a kind of a struggle to coach yourself?
Yeah. Well, my things on school is always, even though I didn't put it into the program and stuff, basically saying that you have to hold a certain grade point average, or you have to have your grades up, or else you cannot compete. I let their parents know. That if their kid is suffering in any kind of subject or anything like that, maybe we can help them find a tutor or something like that, so they can seek that help to help them achieve their grades, or bring their grades up and stuff. I would not allow any athlete to box or to come to this gym and perform his skill or her skill if their grades were down. If their grades were down, then they don't need to be here. They need to be at home, working on their grades, working on their education. Because I tell little kids, and I ask them every day how's school and how's your grades, and as long as their grades is okay, they could continue on coming here.
Yeah. Do you have any advice? And I know you coach again in the youth. You coach college kids. You also coach professional athletes. Do you have any advice you could give to some of those athletes right now? Anything that off the top of your head that you might have learned from your own struggles, or just coaching people, or anything that's been a benefit in your life?
Yeah. The one thing I would just tell them is this. Like I said before, pretty much is just don't quit.
Yeah.
Don't quit. Do not allow yourself to quit at anything that you do. Don't allow yourself to quit. Yeah. You know, always think highly of yourself, because you know what? You are a very important person to a society. You are a very important person to your family. You're a very important person, period. And by bringing yourself down, you will hurt a lot of people. Yeah. You know. So my thing is, don't quit. Fight for everything that you seek for. You know, this gym, I had to fight for this gym.
And you're still fighting for it today.
And I'm still fighting for this gym. I'm still fighting for the people in this gym. I'm still fighting just to, you know, come here every day and train and work with these young athletes. Everything is not easy. Yeah. Nothing's easy in this world. We have to work at everything that we do. Everything is a struggle, but everything pays off at the end as long as you don't quit.
No, and I know you're not going to quit. And if anyone listening out there, if they're an athlete, a youth, a parent, a professional boxer, anything out there, or even someone that wants to sponsor your program, your nonprofit for teaching the kids and coaching the kids, how would they get in contact with you, or how would they be able to reach out? What would be the best way?
Well, best way is to reach me on my phone. That would probably be the best way. And then my nonprofit is going to be coming up. Hopefully, it'll be up online here pretty soon. I don't want to say out the name yet, but
can you provide your phone number?
But my phone number is most definitely. You can contact me on my phone, my cell phone, and it's 619-781-2572. And I will definitely answer the phone, and I will give you any kind of information that you need for any kind of conditioning or exercises and training that you might be seeking. I might not be able to get that to you. I might be able to. I'm more of I pretty much all around. Boxers pretty much do everything. So I'm pretty knowledgeable about every conditioning, every part of the body that I can work you on, because that's what we do. We work the whole entire body. And the best part is you go at your own pace. Okay, it's not somebody that's actually standing over you, pushing you. They're pushing you to be better, but they're not pushing you. So eventually you're going to be all hurt and say, oh my God, I ain't never going back there again. They're crazy.
Yeah.
You know, just to push you to go at your speed and not to quit.
Thank you, Terry, for giving your words of wisdom, telling us about your story, about what you've overcome and where you're going next. It's very exciting. For all you listeners out there, thank you for taking a listen. Please tell your friends, please subscribe, please share. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for listening to The Road to Growth, Success of an Entrepreneur. Please like, subscribe, and stay connected. Visit www.vinnySD.com.
Yeah, I created a website.
Hope to see you again next week. Team Vinny SD, signing off.